Hi, my name is Kristen Carbone. I'm here at the Maple Woods Theater in New Jersey, site of the 2013 Northeast Film Festival. I'm here with several of the nominees this afternoon. Hi, we've got Bill Sorvino and Sam Borowski from Maniac, and we have Samantha Tuffarelli from No, It Ain't All Right. No, You Ain't All Right. So welcome. Thanks for joining me on the couch.
So Kristen, I have a question for you.
I hopefully have an answer.
If we're not on the couch, do we have to call it In the Seats with Kristen?
We can call it in the theater with Kristen.
In the Seats is
in the
racier.
Seats? Do we like In the Seats?
It's like racier.
Welcome to the Seats
like the
with
back
Kristen.
seat of a car.
Oh my.
Driving. Well, you know.
Let me fix my hair a little bit. So yes, welcome. This is On the Couch with Kristen, or In the Seats with Kristen, if you will. So welcome. We've got the two gentlemen over here from Maniac. Sam Borowski, you are the producer and director of the film?
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the film?
Okay. Maniac is about a crippled blind man who climbs Mount Whitney. No, it's not. It's not that. But for a second, I had to go. You were like, "How is it called Maniac?"
I was like, "Wait, I don't think
he's
this
a maniac."
is
And we used the song from Flashdance.
I was like, "I don't think I read this in the description, but okay."
Little in joke there. The song from Flashdance. No, Maniac is about a man who's pushed over the edge after a tragedy and a series of events, and he falls into violent misanthropy. He's on the mean streets of New Jersey and New York City, and he's sort of a vigilante. He feels that he's going to stop the people that keep on hurting the good people. That's what he says in the movie. And he's been pushed over the edge because of a tragedy. And I think we kind of a hint that he's not totally right in the head. He's not like completely crazy, but some people, a tragedy can push them over, and maybe maybe they're not completely right to begin with. But he does what he feels is right, and I think Movie Vine magazine put it best in their glowing review of us, which said basically, they said you don't know whether to root for or against this character, which is what I think makes it interesting. I keep on saying it's a shades of gray movie. It's not black or white. It's down the middle, and each viewer can take something different away. And he says some things that make sense, which is the most frightening part of it for me. The frightening and violent things he does is one aspect of it, but the fact that he actually is able to make sense on some things really is the frightening part for me, because you expect the person who's going to kill people, even if he kills the bad people, not someone who would, God forbid, kill a child, or even though we know all these terrible things have gone on in the country, and that's part of the social climate, what we're talking about, also the economic climate in the country leads people to do terrible things. And Bill really aided in coming up with a wonderful backstory for his character. Some of it's hinted, some of it's just in the subtext, but it really comes through in his performance. And I think that the fact that you can have a person who, even if he's killing bad people, it's still wrong, he's still killing people, yet when he says things that make sense on a certain level, you're like, now that's frightening. Because you expect a person who kills people to be a certain kind of way. And when he can reason and say things that seem to make sense on the surface, to me that makes it much more frightening. And the fact that he can be an attractive, normal-looking man, you expect someone to look a certain way. He doesn't have tattoos. He's not in a leather jacket. He's this person who's like an average citizen, and he has a sister. That's a big part of the movie. And the other thing I'll reveal about it is we shot this in a certain fashion as an homage to the movies of the 1970s, most notably Taxi Driver. Our poster is a mock-up of the original Taxi Driver poster with some unique elements, but we use the font off of that. You don't even find that font anymore. I usually have what they call steel tongs at the bottom of the poster. We have like a 1970s style poster. And when we filmed it with the Red Epic camera, the best camera in the industry as far as I'm concerned. But we put an old, William Schweikert, our DP, put an old 1970s photographic style lens on it, which gives it a filmic look. The look of the film, everything from that that is a kid, from that 1970s photographic look to the score that we did, which sounds almost like a Mike Hammer score. We went for like an homage to the Taxi Driver score, and we got it, but it's like sort of a bluesy Mike Hammer type score, and there's a lot of sax in there. To the color correction, to just even some of the sound effects we use that are a little cheesy, but it's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. It's this heavy, dramatic, social commentary that we want you to make the commentary as the viewer, but yet we do it in a fashion of a 1970s film. And I mean, homages to like Taxi Driver and some other movies are very present, but it also stands on its own, which as a piece of cinema. Bill, tell a little bit of the reaction you got in Rhode Island. It was really wonderful.
little bit
This
on
is
the
Bill
spot.
Sorvino, by the way, lead actor from Maniac.
Thank you.
For a second, I thought you were going to bust into the Maniac there and go, House of Fire.
Yeah, I mean, the reactions have been really wonderful to the film. When it screened at Rhode Island, it's my own work, so it's hard to be objective to it. But what was really nice was after the screening was over, we did get a lot of nice reactions in the screening and in all the right places of the film, and I was happy about that. I was nervous all day. I was nervous for 2 days. I think I lost 5 pounds in the process.
He was very hard to deal with.
It's,
We were in the hotel with it.
I've done several films, but I don't know why this was the most important one to me so far. Maybe
You kind of carry the film.
Yeah,
and we have some great actors.
I've carried other films before, but this one I guess is the most well received so far to date. And it's, of course, it was Flickers, Rhode Island, which is an Oscar qualifying film festival. So you want to make obviously a big impression on something like that. It's very important as an actor and filmmaker. So so the film showed, and we got a lot of great reaction from the audience, which was thank God. And afterwards, we were in the lobby, and I was just waiting for my people to come out or file out, or just trying to get our troops together. And one after another, people would come up to me and shake my hand and say, "Wow, that was great! Wow!"
Not just his people though. Like,
no, people, just random people that didn't know who they were, and I was like, oh, thank you, gee, and then I'd be staying there again and just minding my own business, just being little old me, and someone would come up to me, "Oh, wow, great," and I was like, "Ooh, I think we have a good film here."
Yeah.
It's a very humbling experience too, because we're there with Oscar nominees from last year. We met so many Oscar nominees that were nominated last year for their short films, and other great filmmakers. And I think Bill, he has this thing. It's like he almost doesn't believe it. I think all actors have that.
Well, it's my own work. Like I said, you can't be objective. You're looking yourself and you say, "Well, I like what I did. I don't know how other people will feel about it."
Yeah.
And the fact that, and then throughout the film festival, even after the screening the next day, and just throughout, people would find me in the street and say, "Oh, I saw you in Maniac." Wow, I was like, wow. I mean, it made an impact.
Yeah.
The movie actually was seen, and something went into them. To want to come out and say that, because there was no other reason to, because I wasn't fishing for it, and I didn't even see the people coming up to me. So that was a great response. So basically, that was that's been thus far, what I've gotten.
You are in No You Ain't All Right. I'm going to keep butchering that all day. A plague upon my houses. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Now, you are nominated for Best Actress for that, so give us a little something on that, in a short.
It's a really cute, it's completely opposite of theirs, and it's a comedy. So it's very lighthearted and fun, and it has a twist on words from, if you've seen Goodfellas. So it definitely makes it a little bit more funny, but it stands alone on its own as well.
So why don't you tell us a bit about your character in the film?
I'm the waitress, and I kind of am snooping on these two gentlemen that are having a little bit of a crisis. But
not us, the two in the movie.
Not these two.
Yeah.
The two in the movie.
Yeah, and I get to embrace a little bit of an inner De Niro, so that was really cool.
Yeah, well, excellent, and I hope all these films do well. You can catch them this September, the 13th through the 15th.
Yeah, we'll be playing real quick as we wrap it up. The September 14th super short subjects block, 8 p.m. in this very theater. You can catch Maniac, my other film Pollination, Monarch Kerchief, Imagine starring Scott Wolf, and No You Ain't All Right starring Samantha Tuffarelli.
So yeah, he's got the whole lineup all set, so which is good, because then I don't have to repeat it. And you can catch them and everyone here at the Maplewoods Theater the 13th through the 15th. Here in New Jersey, and this has been On the Couch or In the Seats with Kristen.
In the Seats with Kristen.
And have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Adios.